All right, welcome everyone to this Thursday night's edition of Southern Woods and Waters. Boy, we've got a great show for you tonight. I say that each and every time. But listen, this guy's only been on my show twice, and I tell you what, he is an inspiration to us each and every time he comes on here. I've been to his seminars, learned great loads of information from his seminars. If you get an opportunity to go see this guy, you just got to go. I promise you it's well worth it. Let's widen out and introduce him to you. David Genevico. David, thank you so much, brother.
Hey, good to be here, Hugh.
David, your reputation does precede you, brother, because
I hope nobody knows it.
Yeah, we do. I mean, everybody knows it. I mean, you're kind of a legend on Kentucky Lake.
I don't think that's true.
You can say that. You can say that. I'm serious but you don't put it out there like you're better than anybody else, but you just studied it, and you studied it, and you studied it.
I've spent some time. I mean, there's some great fishermen on Kentucky Lake, and that's one of the reasons I really like fishing there is, man, there's some good competition. And to compete out there consistently, you got to be on top of your game. But I've spent a few hours studying. I've spent a few hours driving around, staring at that hummingbird, learning as much as I can, and I love fishing there. So it's a great place to go.
And I tell you what, don't you think though that the better the competition, the better you do?
Absolutely.
I do.
You know, we're going to talk about my friend Jason Saint here in a minute, but I'll remember. It was probably 2000, 2001. Jason said, let's fish PBF. And you remember the old PBF circuit?
Trail, yeah.
You know, in the 90s and in the early 2000s, it was the place to be. All the best fishermen from Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama fished it.
Right.
And I said, man, we can't compete with those guys. And he said, oh, I mean, you got to know Jason. He said, oh, yeah, we can compete with those guys. And we went out there and started fishing PBF, and it made me a much better fisherman. And pretty soon we were competing and winning and doing well with that. So absolutely, I think, you know, you start at the level you can start, whether it's a bass club or fishing as a co-angler. You know, but if you want to get to be a better fisherman, you got to go out there and fish against the best. And some days you take your licks, and some days you do pretty well.
That's right. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the boat.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I'm going to tell you, though, and what I love about what we're doing here in Tennessee is it's not just bass fishing anymore. Crappie fishing's really coming on.
Right.
Cat fishing's coming on. Bow fishing's coming on. And I just feel like when you get in with a bunch of competitors, some that are even better than you or studied a little bit longer, they raise your standards up.
Absolutely. And, you know, throughout my career, I guess you call it a career, I've always sought out people that I could learn a lot from.
Yes.
And, I mean, Jason and I learned a lot together. And my friend Brent Anderson is a guide on Kentucky Lake. He and I fished together. And Adam Wagner, who's been to the Bassmaster Classic.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
And, I mean, I've taught those guys some things, but I've learned stuff from them. And so, you know, my advice to people getting started in this is find somebody that you can be with and have fun fishing with. But, man, try to find somebody better than you so that they can teach you some stuff. And, you know, Brent would say the same thing, and Jason would say the same thing, and Adam would say the same thing, that I've taught them stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
But you just kind of learn from each other. But, yeah, absolutely. The better people you're around, the better you get.
Well, I got another little secret I'm going to say in just a few minutes about David. But first, I got to introduce my other little guest. Is my own little pro staffer for Southern Woods and Waters, Miss Hannah Lynn. Hannah, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'll tell you what, she called me out. She said, Mr. Hugh, can I be on the show? I said, well, heck yeah. How about next week? So great to have little Miss Hannah. She's going to do the recipe along with her grandfather here in just a little bit. So we're looking forward to that. But, Hannah, what you been doing? I mean, school's fixing to start again.
I know.
Oh, bummer.
I know.
I know you're saying bummer. We're over here going, yes, yes. If it wasn't for bus zones, we'd be happy campers as adults. But I mean, what have you been doing this summer? I know cheerleading.
Cheerleading all the time, the school cheer, and then just hanging around babysitting.
and it's a good thing.
Yes.
But now cheerleading is, you've gotten to where you're doing more, what do you call it? Aerial stuff, and y'all are doing the flipping. I mean, cheerleading's not like rah-rah, you know.
Trust me, I got two cheerleaders at home.
That's right.
They're sitting on the couch right now. They told me to give them a shout out, Millie and Kaylee.
That's
hey, girls.
right. I forgot about that.
And my son Dawson's at home too. But yeah, my daughter cheers, and it's intense.
It is.
I went to
You travel with
I
them.
went to Florida, and I'm like, I got to go to a cheerleading competition, and I mean, those girls are athletes. It's
Yes.
incredible. So I thought it would be stupid, but I'm pretty impressed with cheerleaders.
I am too. I am too. But great to have you both on the show. I really appreciate both of. David is going to talk to us in a few minutes about this tournament, and it's for Jason Sane.
Right.
Jason has been a longtime partner of yours.
Yep.
Best of friends, both of you. A lot of us know Jason.
Right.
Fishing tournaments and stuff, and
Been around.
He's been around, and he's a hoot. He's
Absolutely.
an absolute hoot. And so, you know, here's an opportunity. Jason's gone through some real tough medical issues, and we're going to talk about that just a little bit. We want to tell you the full story, but really, David's here to promote a tournament where we're going to try and raise money to help Jason with some of these bills. Man,
Right.
I don't care what a stump toe will cost you $5 grand anymore.
Yeah,
And you know,
yeah.
it's skyrocketing medical expenses, and Jason's been inundated with he and his family, and it can cause a family to be middle class to start off with and be at poverty level
Yeah.
in just a short amount of time.
Right.
And so we want to touch on that. Are we going to pull at your heartstrings? You bet you. That's what we're here for. But we're also going to tell you it is a payback tournament.
Absolutely.
And you've kind of designed. I've seen your design on the paybacks and everything. Oh my gosh, that is a great tournament.
Listen, I like fishing tournaments, and I like tournaments that pay back well. And so when we sit down to try to lay this tournament out, we'll talk more about it. But I said, man, I want a tournament that everybody wants
That's
to
right.
fish. And I mean, a lot of people want to fish this because they want to be there to help Jason, and
Right.
we want to do something. And I mean, I'm begging people to come fish it for that. But we're going to pay out $5,000 for first place. The top 5 places pay over $1,000. We pay down 25 places in the field. A friend of mine, Cecil Chun, I don't know if Cecil's watching tonight, but he called me. He said, I can't be at the tournament, but if I give $200, will you give it to the person that catches the smallest limit? And I said, all right, so whoever catches the smallest limit's going to get $200.
$200.
So anyway, it's going to be a great event, and we can talk more about that as the show goes on.
That's going to be great. I tell you what, David is just here's my secret that I found out. Today is a special day for you.
What's
Isn't it?
that?
Is this not your anniversary?
No, my anniversary's next week.
Oh, is it next
You had
week?
to pull that out on me. Now I've got to do something for my anniversary.
Well, I wasn't going to let you hang
Yeah.
because you forgot it.
My anniversary is the 22nd. It'll be 19 years on the 22nd.
That's awesome, brother.
Yep.
That is awesome. And you got how many kids now?
Got 2 kids.
Two girls?
Now I got a girl, and I got my girl Millie is 13. My son Dawson is 9.
All right. And Millie's the one that's in the
Millie's the
cheerleading.
cheer, and her little friend, like I said, I told him I'd give him a shout out. So her friend Kaylee's over at our house too. They're watching TV right now. So y'all go to bed or do something. I don't know.
And I want to say also, David is an audiologist
Right.
and got a great practice right there on Mount Juliet Road, right
Yep.
there in Mount Juliet. And I've sent people there. I'm going to say this. I hope I never have to use you, but if I do, I know exactly who I'm going to go to. I promise you that.
Well, we've been there 7 years, and Mount Juliet's been great to us. I love living and working in Mount Juliet, but yeah, we take care of people that can't hear. We take care of people with hearing aids, do lots of testing,
Yes, you
and
do.
it's a fantastic job. I love it.
Well, I wanted to tell you what Sharon Kimberly said. You saved her.
Okay, good.
So that's awesome for her. She can hear now when we're talking about her.
I'm glad to help her. That's right.
Hey, we got to take a quick break right quick, and when we come back, we're going to go ahead and talk about Jason Sane and let you find out a little bit more about the preliminaries heading up to this tournament. So hurry back to more of Southern Woods and Waters.